Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have several things on, of course, everybody has received my monthly operations report for June. Several things on my list here tonight to discuss with the board. One would be the transfer from the general fund to the asphalt fund of $80,000 to pave 4 roads. Those roads would be Laurel Hill, Hickory Grade Road, Mungai Hill, and Grant Alley. The total cost of the work on those roads is $106,699. To date, we've used $82,000 of the $110,000 in our asphalt budget, which leaves us a balance of $28,000. What we need is an additional $79,000, or let's say $80,000 transferred to the asphalt line item in our budget.
Is this for us being able to do our own paving with it?
That's correct. That's correct, Andy.
What did we pave so far that we use the current budget?
We spent about $15,000 on. I don't have that list with me on cold patch during the winter operations. I have a list of where we've spent our money thus far.
Bill, where is, did you say Grange Alley?
Grant Alley, Elizabeth,
Grant
just
Alley,
off
I'm
of
sorry.
Route 50.
I have received comments regarding Public Works and you, Bill, in particular, from three or four different people that you are an asset to Public Works. And
Thank
I'm
you,
very
Elizabeth.
pleased with Public Works as well.
I'm all for us having the Public Works do some of this because it does impact the residents that live along these roads tremendously, having them in better shape like that.
And it saves the township money to have us do it.
The question is, do you have the time to do it?
We have to make the time. Right now, over the next week, this week and next, I'm short because of the vacations that are scheduled. I have a senior staff down there, and I'm trying to get everybody's vacations in this week and next. And after that, we'll be in the paving mode. We'll have enough staff then to get back to the paving.
Isn't that in the contract?
Pardon me?
Isn't that in the contract that everybody has to be around whenever paving is done?
Well, it is, but these guys also deserve a vacation after winter that we've had. So I want them to spend time with their family when they want to spend time with their family. That's important.
But we can still do this into September too. And
Yes,
it's
we
not
can
just
pay
July,
well into
August.
October. October 15th is the deadline that PennDOT establishes for discontinuing paving operations. And then it's on an as-needed basis, as approved by the Director of the Public Works Department, contingent upon weather conditions.
Bill, I have another question. Have you factored in the cost of the Public Works Department? And added that to it, and then estimated how much we save?
I have not,
Okay. Do that next month for me?
if I have time.
Thank you.
I have 2 personnel actions tonight for the executive session.
We need to vote.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need, is there a motion to?
What's the amount?
Around 80,000.
80,000.
Okay, then I'll make the motion to approve the expenditure of an additional $80,000 for
Asphalt.
the asphalt, for the improvement of the roads.
I'll second that.
Named.
The aforementioned roads, Bill.
Thank you very much.
And I'll second the motion. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So moved. Go. Is there any more, Bill?
That's all I have for tonight. The other 2 items are for our personnel actions for executive session. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, next, the engineers report. Dan?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. The board has a copy of my July 2nd report. I'm just going to highlight a couple items On the development side of things, the Ironwood 2 project, they actually paved another section of the road there today, so that project is moving along, and pretty much that's what's going to occur there for a while. They'll just be building houses. Moving on, everybody's concern at Anger Road. Was in touch with Cecil Contracting. They are gearing up to do the work along Anger Road. That first started with a meeting we had here, then they did some notification of residents out there. They're going to commence with some of the clearing. Then they will do some storm sewer work, widening and grading, followed by the base stabilization, and then finally the paving. Whole project should take a little over a month. Everybody is anxious to get that road paved, so that's good news. Next, moving on to the...
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When are they going to start, Dan?
When are they going to start? They're going to start the clearing this week.
Okay, and what about Southview? Southview is supposed to start?
It's on my report. I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
No problem.
Then one more question on Anger Road. Has anyone been in touch with Tom Strang? Has he contacted anyone?
Tom Stray?
Tom Strang, S-T-R-A-N-G.
I did talk to Mr. Strang, and it was with regard to the trees that are on Anger
Right.
Road.
Right. And has that been...
I have solicited some several bids from Bulldog Tree Service and also from Ken's, and we still haven't. The estimates that I've received aren't really balanced with one another as far as the type of service that they're providing. It's estimated to cost approximately $10,000 to $12,000 to remove 7 trees, grind the stumps, and leave the timber for Mr. Strang. These trees are huge.
What's the diameter? Are they?
I have some pictures I can pass over to you right now.
Are they healthy trees?
They are healthy trees. One appears to be probably well over 250 years old, but it juts out into the roadway, posing a safety hazard to the motoring public. I don't like to cut trees like that.
I would think that there could be, that's not very much for a company that's timbering, but if there's anyone timbering in this area, that could provide some income to him and save the township the $10,000 as well.
He has expressed an interest in keeping those trees for himself if they have to be cut down.
I didn't understand that.
You asked
For the names of some timbering companies, and I haven't.
He's actually going out to, okay, that's even better.
Okay.
I misunderstood what you had said, because I've asked several tree companies to give me a quote on removing the trees and grinding the stump.
He's looking to sell it.
looking to do it himself.
That's what I understood him to say. He wanted to know if I knew of anyone, and I haven't timbered anywhere in the last maybe 5 or 7 years.
I haven't seen anybody in the township lately.
Yeah, has there been any timbering activity? They got it on 10 years ago when timber was up, and then the prices have been down. I understand they're coming back down. But there's a possibility that, yes.
I got a couple postcards in the mail about 6 months ago from people that want to timber my place. And I can get phone numbers to Bill or whoever if there's enough to make it lucrative for them to come into this area.
7 trees is not a great interest.
Yeah, but if they're, like he said, as big as they are, you would be surprised what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, get it to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here's your pictures. Okay, Bill, anything else? Or Dan,
I'm going to move on. Okay, I was on to the reserve at South Point. A couple of things going on there. They're getting ready to pave the first wearing course up there on that road, so it'll start looking more like a real road. They've been in construction up there on the first phase of the buildings for a while, so that's going to take place. In addition,
Are they gonna put the wearing course all the way up to the cul-de-sac, or just
yes, the first wearing course, they owe us on the whole road, and
full
then,
reserve drive?
yeah, then they'll owe us a final wearing course before they pull out.
Okay.
Then Andy and I had met up there with representatives of the reserve and their construction company. They've agreed to come in and do some additional work. We had an agreement with them originally to do some work related to putting in a parking area in the park and some other things. They're going to actually come in and do some moving of that additional topsoil pile we have, to do some nice mounding and so forth. In their willingness to do that is, number one, they need some topsoil, which is good. They gave us too much, they'll take some back. And number two, they need to do some placement of fill up there. We have a spot that they can actually take some other type of fill material. And then in addition, they have some big rocks that they want to bring over, which we can use to dissipate some of the stormwater areas on the end of the hillside there at the one soccer field. So that's all good news, and that's at no cost to the township. They will do that work. Moving on, Windsor Woods, as I informed the board, they have agreed to the final payment that we discussed. Been working with John Smith's office. John's office prepared a release. We furnished that to the bonding company. I followed up last week. They apologized that they should be communicating directly with John's office. So as soon as I hear from them, John, or you do, we'll get that final up.
Is there a problem with it?
No,
From what I read, it appeared that you did not like the release that they prepared and you make changes or corrections.
right, they gave us their form release. It just wasn't a mutual release. And since there were allegations back and forth about different things, I thought we should have a mutual release. We didn't really make a lot of changes that I recall, Dan, because that was like 2 months ago, I think.
I was less than that. It was a month, last meeting.
Okay. Was it last week we made changes?
No, you changed it right after the meeting last.
Oh, the last meeting, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So we sent it out to them, but I think I even told the board if there's any objections, we can work with them, but we haven't heard back from them. So Dan, if I hear, I'll let you know, and of course I'll forward it to the board.
Well, can we push them? Can we push them?
The question
on this?
was, Dan, can we push them to get the money? Or I think you said you called them and they apologized. Is that
Lawyers always get in the way.
They're lawyers.
He said that we had to, they are that.
Whatever the lawyer says, okay, we'll get the money.
I'd like to say, look, this problem with Windsor Woods has been going on.
I understand, and we can add it on to Youngblood's contract. We get him in here, which is next week. By the time he gets done with all of our regular work, we'll be able to have him do this at the tail end of his program.
But is it going to be this season?
I anticipate it is.
Yeah, they made the financial offer, I would think.
I'll continue to follow up with my contact
Are
as the
you the one that
engineer.
should be following up?
I am, I have.
Oh, okay, will you?
But my contact is an engineer. He said that the lawyers were supposed to be talking to each other. He apologized for not getting back to John's office.
And I don't know who the lawyer is. I forwarded the changes to Dan and he forwarded them off to,
We'll get it moving.
we'll work on it.
Get it moving, find out who the attorney
Yes.
is.
Yeah,
Get it resolved.
we'll do.
The board is aware that the Coleman Road emergency work, the wall is complete. The contractor is, all work is complete on the wall itself. The contractor is having a little bit of trouble finding a paving contractor. We've asked them for a schedule of when we're going to get that done. That's the only item that's left up there, but the wall on the road is stable at this point. There is a payment consideration on the agenda tonight that I'll comment on in a little bit. And then out of the Muse storm sewer investigation that we did, was looking back through some stuff, and we did notice some issues related to the Elm Street Bridge. Prepared a memo and got it off the bill. There are some repairs that need to be done to the Elm Street Bridge. They're more in the way of welding some plates in some areas that have deteriorated on the bridge. Bill